Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? All right, I'm testing out my other camera at the same time so you guys can see. But as you can see, I'm letting my hair grow and I'm getting actual haircuts, right? And it's just this was my first one today, and yeah, I got to get used to having hair. It's just weird. It's just I haven't seen myself gray in a long time, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see. Wow. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. This was more about just coming on. I've been promising people that they can see my hair, what I was doing, and I was letting it grow. And it is just weird to see. He did the best he could with my hairline because I know it's kind of higher up on one side, but that's just how my hairline goes. So I know he did the best. What's going on, Mike? Yeah, so now you know what, my hair grows so fast though. I'm gonna have to teach my girlfriend how to cut my hair because there's no way, because it's been years since I've been to a barber, just years. Okay, just the waiting and the cost. The cost is considerably more than when I last went into a barbershop and got a haircut. I was like, uh-oh, I gotta learn how to cut my own hair or have my girlfriend learn how to do it, because I'm not paying that every single time I'm going to get my haircut, because especially right now they can charge a lot because of the time. So I just, woof. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. I don't think you've ever seen me with hair, right, Tyler? You've never seen me with hair. I don't think I ever grew it once at Alaska. Did I? Nope, I kept it bald that whole time. So so today's, even though I have a title on it, I'm still, do you know your tax bracket? Anyway, that's the title, but it's more about just showing people this haircut. I just recently got approved for my my join room, my paid group that I'm starting. So I just recently got approved. So I'm gonna get that hooked up by the weekend and start populating that with videos, next level videos. Like, for example, like here I'm asking in the general open area, hey, do you know your tax bracket, right? But in the room, I'm gonna go into a more detailed way of how you actually calculate your tax bracket, and also from a debt-free perspective. It's a very important, because knowing your tax bracket is the biggest part of the equation. You must know your tax bracket. And the reason why I'm saying this to you is because the majority of my life, I didn't know my tax bracket. I just knew how much I made a year, and that was it, right? And that's because I was in debt. Once I got out of debt, I can clearly see the purpose of a tax bracket. You must know that. That's almost like, I don't want to say it's your starting point, but it is a major piece in the puzzle. Think about it this way. You can go to prison for tax evasion. So that's, if you can go to prison for it, it seems like it would be pretty important to know your tax bracket, right? That's pretty. So that's the importance of knowing it. It's the same equivalent. Trust me. All right. Mike said, you look wealthier with hair. Okay. All right. The wealthier look. All right. I didn't know wealthy had a look, but okay, cool. But I know what you mean, Mike. I'm just messing with you. That's true. It says, make you look more very distinct. Yeah, thanks, man. My girlfriend been telling me to do this for the longest. And I said, okay, screw it. Because my hair goes really fast, man. And that's one of the reasons why I shave, because my hair grows so fast. I couldn't even imagine going that many times to the barbershop. That would be like, I would have to at least the minimum go once a week to the barbershop at $25. Today was $25, by the way. Tyler, that's why you got to get CashApp, man. You got to get CashApp. Get CashApp. I do got a Venmo. Let me look up my Venmo. Okay, I'll look up my Venmo. All right. Oh, by the way, Tyler, no, the haircut was $100. That's right. You can just, I'll open up a Venmo account. Then you can just put me that. It was $100, not 25. $25 was the tip. Thanks, Tyler. You're the best. So if you're new to the channel, and I'm curious, do you know your tax bracket? Do you think, did you think like me, just rich people were the only ones that needed to know their tax bracket? Were you like me? I used to think like that. I used to think like, why should I know my tax bracket? I'm not rich. I remember saying things like that to myself out loud, right? Or here's the bigger one. Have you ever been around somebody that that brags? Whoops. Sorry, you guys are going to be hearing some popping, man, because the gnats are bad down here. I got this little device that pops them. So sorry about that. But you ever come across somebody that brags about their tax bracket? Like they're such in a high tax bracket to try to portray to you that they have money because they're in that tax bracket. Let me tell you something, okay? When you hear somebody say that, one has nothing to do with the other, okay? So if they brag about being in a high tax bracket, don't assume it's because they have a lot of money, because that has nothing to do. Damn, they're getting bad. That has nothing to do with the other. I promise you, nothing. Okay. What's up, Pedro? Now Agency. Greetings, Now Agency. LJ, hello. All right, man. I'm gonna set up my Venmo. All right. I'm gonna set it up under this though. I didn't know. I thought I always hear about Cash App all the time. Very rarely Venmo, but I'll set it up. What's up, Pedro? Wealthy people need to know so they can pay less taxes. Exactly. That Pedro, that's exactly right. Because that's a major piece of the puzzle. All right. That is where phantom income is created in taxes. Taxes, when you get out of debt, you could see phantom income. You could see there's only one guaranteed ROI. That's return on investment. You know what that guarantee is? Taxes. That's always guaranteed return on your money. Guaranteed. Every single time, without a doubt. Guaranteed. Right? But remember, you can't be in debt, though. When I say you can, taxes can help you build wealth, you cannot be in debt to see this. You'll never see what I'm talking about. Don't even try. Okay. Tyler, I know you are, man. I know you are. What's up, Ken, the scout? LJ, you got me hyped about this private group. Will be excellent to learn and share with others. Hey, man, I'm excited about it. You know, honestly, Ken, I've gotten this far. I just listened to that voice inside of me that said, hey, LJ, it's this direction. And I've been moving it ever since. I've been doing it ever since I quit Alaska Airlines. I remember when I quit that job, people were asking me, hey, LJ, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. I don't know. That's exactly what I said to people. I have no idea what I'm going to do. People looked at me crazy. All right. Now Agency says, what kind of mosquito catcher do you have? I know it's off topic. I know it's popping in the background, so it's a fair question. It's one of those, it's like a light. It's like fluorescent tubes are in it, and it's got a grill on it. And then, obviously the things on the inside are electrified. So for some reason, those fluorescent type bulbs and that thing, gnats are attracted to. They just naturally go to it. So if I start to see some inside of just flying around in the house, I just turn it on. Next thing you know, they just go straight to it like like it's nothing. I don't know. It's like they're drawn to it or something. Oh, okay. Urban Bros, what's up, man? Oh, you guys changed your name. Okay. It's more for gnats, though, right? I don't really have a problem with mosquitoes. Gnats coming for your new hairstyle. You know what it is, Mike? I just never had gnat problems like this in Seattle. It just wasn't like that. But here it's just different because I'm assuming because the weather's warmer or whatever, right? What's up, Karen Jackson? She says, I have one too. Oh yeah, this thing is, it's worth every penny. It's worth every dime I paid for that thing. It's worth every penny. I tried everything. I know this is way off topic, but I tried apple cider vinegar, blah, blah, blah. It just was just too much work. I put this up, takes care of it. Just a personal account. What are you talking about now, agency? But if you're new to the S&D family and you don't know your tax bracket, today is the day that you say that to yourself. That's very important. It's very important, right? Let me show you guys something. I'm gonna show you a single file. Oops, 1 second here. Because I want you guys to see something here, okay? All right. Let me move that. All right, let me bring this back up so I can. Okay. So the easy, and now I'm gonna dumb this. I'm gonna do everything simplified. Your taxes are calculated in a slightly different way, but I'm gonna just show you the general. Okay, the general. All right. So say like you are a single person just by yourself, and you made, let's say like you made $100,000 a year. All right. So right here in the 24 percentile tax bracket is where that's your tax bracket. If you made $100,000 a year as a single filer, your tax bracket is 24%. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you something that I didn't know until I got out of debt. I know it doesn't sound like those two things go together, for knowing something and not knowing something, but I promise you, it just didn't go together, right? So when I made $100 something thousand, I just assumed that my whole $100,000 salary was taxed at 24%. No, it's not like that. Okay. The first 0 to 9875 is taxed at 10%. 9876 to 440,125 is taxed at 12%. See what I'm saying? And then this, from this to this, is taxed at 22%. And then when you come in here, from this number to whatever number you land in here, that amount of money is taxed at 24%. That's how it works. All right. But if somebody asks you, hey, what's your tax bracket? Just say 24%. Now that just takes 5 minutes. Just do that. Okay. And so you can understand what I mean by this. This is so you can understand why I'm telling you this. Okay. I always give you guys an example so you can understand, hey, why should I know my tax bracket? Okay, just take 5 minutes, go type in 2020 tax bracket, know your year-end salary, see where your number is, and say, okay, say like it is 24%, right? Now, I want, with that knowledge in your head, I want you to ask any of your family members, any of your friends, any of them. It doesn't matter. Pick one, it doesn't matter, and say, hey, do you know your tax bracket? I guarantee you 90% of them will not even have a clue. And if you don't believe me, I just want you to test this. Hey, girl, do you know your tax bracket? See if they come back and say yes. Okay. And then when they don't know, I want you to ask yourself, how did LJ know that? And then you come on back and then you join the private group, and then I'll tell you why I knew that or how I knew that. All right. Shout out to Nicer for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Nicer. Appreciate it. I really do. Especially with a $25 haircut today. Oh, man, I ain't been in barbershop in a long time. I'll tell you that. All right, Tyler. See ya. Jared says, I'm in a 24 percentile tax bracket. Did you know that before today, Jared, or not? And if you didn't, don't worry about it, because a lot of people don't. Generally, the only people that don't know that are usually people in debt. And I'm telling you this from experience, okay? Don't believe because I was a college educated tier 3 engineer, cloud engineer, all that sounds smart and dandy and all that stuff. My title of my job has nothing to do with what I teach. Nothing. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, computer engineer, accountant, IRS tax preparer. It doesn't matter. If they're in debt, they're usually not going to know. And if you don't know your tax bracket, if you don't at least know your tax bracket, you will never, ever, ever understand what I'm talking about. Ever. It'll be mathematically impossible for you. Mathematically impossible. You told me my tax bracket 3 months ago. Okay, cool. Have you ever asked any of your friends, Jared, to say, hey, you guys know your tax bracket? Have you asked any family members or anything like that, see if they know? Yeah, I'm so busy staring at my hair, guy. I got a hair. Wow. I just haven't seen hair on my head in a very long time. You know what? I was thinking about this today as we wait for these questions, okay? Because if it goes like this, we're definitely not going to be going for hours. But I was thinking, like, sometimes when I'm driving, I do a lot of thinking in my car, right? And I was sometimes these things pop in my head as I wish somebody would have told me this when I was in debt. Okay, these are the things I wish somebody would have told me when I was in debt. If somebody would have came up to me and said, "Hey, LJ, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals if your world is a mathematical illusion." Now I'm gonna say that one more time. If somebody would have came up to me when I was in debt and said, "LJ, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt will equal if your life is a mathematical illusion." And I would have did it, and it would have came into the negative, right? I would have add up all my savings and add up all my debt, and it wouldn't have been in a deep negative, right? And I would have had to look at that math and saw it in a negative and would had to believe my whole entire life is a mathematical illusion. I didn't own the house. I didn't own the car. I didn't know my tax bracket. I've never, ever, ever maxed out my 401k. I'm not talking about the match. I'm talking about the $19,500 a year. I had never, ever done that until the last year I worked, ever. Now, most of you look at me and say, what are you talking about, Linnell? If you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm telling you, it's because you're in debt. That's why you don't understand what I'm saying. Put it this way. Put it this way. If you ever, 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 ever want to not pay taxes legally, if you ever want to reach that level, you must get out of debt first. You must get out of debt first. Sorry for the camera shaking. I'm trying to get this still. You must get out of debt first. You have to. I said, what's good, fam? Listening while waiting for this cab to scoop me. Oh, cab. Wow. Okay. Jared says, my aunt, who is a millionaire, knows hers, but my friends look at me like I'm speaking a different language because you are. Once you stop, you got to look at it this way. If they trusted math, they would understand every single word that you're saying. But since they don't trust math, they don't know what you're saying. So always think of it this way. If they knew what they were saying, would they be saying it? So since they're saying it, they obviously don't know what they're saying. So that keeps you from getting frustrated at them not understanding you, because you got to clearly accept they don't understand you. Ask them, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? They won't have an answer. Ask them, do you know your tax bracket? They'll say, I don't know. Hey, did you finance that phone? Yeah, sure did. What's wrong with that? See? See what I'm saying? Ask them. You can ask a lot of people this. Ask a lot of people this question. Hey, do you know what type of mortgage you have? 9 out of 10, they won't even know. Hey, do you have PMI? They'll say, what is that? Because they don't understand. Black Knight says, your tax bracket is actually determined by your adjusted gross income minus deductions. The amount of deductions are what actually separate the wealth from the rest. Phantom, AKA phantom income. Okay? You guys got to understand that. What he's describing, I'm going to just wrap it up. It's called phantom income. If you don't trust in mathematics, you'll never understand what Black Knight is saying right here. You'll never get it. You'll be like, what is he talking about? What? What's adjusted gross minus deductions separate the wealthy from the rest of who? See what I'm saying? They won't understand any of that. If you've been in debt all your life, if you don't know your tax bracket, because you're probably in debt. Now, if you see me saying this, right, and you're mad about it, but what I'm saying is mathematically true, you got to ask yourself, why are you mad at me if the math is correct? That doesn't make sense. Once you solve that problem right there, being mad that my math is correct, that's what will break you to the other side. That will bring you to north of zero. John Kennedy tuned in from Miami, Florida. Thank you. Herbert Walker says, my tax bracket dropped when I retired. It drops a lot too, especially when you're debt free. It drops a lot. Because once you get out of debt, you'll see that life is not expensive at all. Nothing's expensive. Anything, put it this way, when you get out of debt, the price tags on things are really irrelevant. Like a Gucci purse costs this, a Porsche costs that, a Bentley costs this, a Ferrari costs that. To who? Only to people who believe Ferraris cost that much. Only people who believe a purse that you can clearly see, like a Gucci purse, is some ridiculous price. I mean, logically, you got to understand it really didn't cost that much to buy that purse, right? That's the only thing I see. I would never pay for that, but I would just buy it from somebody that believed it cost that much for half the price because they're in debt. My value is those who value everything that costs ridiculous price, and then when they get it over their head, they have to sell it. They sell it for half with cash. That's my value. Half of what everybody else thinks what everything else is valued at, I say it's half that. See how that works? Hey, brother, late to the chat, but welcome. You made it. What's up, Ill Wills? 1 second. I got to start this thing. Let me stop the cam. Okay. Be ticking down. I guess I forgot the rules on that. So I'm using my girlfriend's Nikon just to check it out. Black Knight says, unless you have a business degree, the conversation is usually about income, not net worth. Yeah. You're right. You're right. They always talk about income and not net worth, because I think honestly, on the bigger scale, Black Knight, we know the economy runs on debt. Okay, there's very few of us that know that. That's how the economy works. It runs on debt. We know that. And without debt, it wouldn't work. So I see, like, coming out of the debt matrix onto this side, north side of zero, I can see why they made me put so much emphasis on my income. I now understand why they did that. Because it took my focus off my debt. I remember making my last job, I was making 160,000, right? When I was in debt, that sounded like a really, really lot of money. That sounded like a lot of money, right? But I was over double that in debt. But I was so focused on the income. If I would have, the word net worth, I remember the word net worth, tax brackets, I always thought that was for rich people, right? Why do I believe I thought about it that way? Because the majority of people think like that. So I automatically assumed they must know something more about money. Net worth is for rich people. Rich people are the only ones that need to know the tax bracket because they have money. That has nothing to do with nothing. Thanks, Ill Wills. Appreciate you, like always. Black Knight says, poor people talk about income while the wealthy discuss their net worth. Exactly. Once you get out of debt and start trusting mathematics, you'll stop talking like that. You'll clearly see that income has nothing to do with it. Nothing. We'll put it this way. No, income has nothing to do with it when you're in debt. Okay. I'm going to make sure I'm specific, because when it comes to money and mathematics, you got to make sure you know if the people that are using certain words when it comes to money and finance, you got to know if they know the definition of what the word they're using, because a lot of people interchange words and think it's the same. I promise you, especially when you're in debt. Especially when you're in debt, people be calling their personal houses assets. And then you say, oh, it is? What type of mortgage you have? I don't know. How much you put down? Not barely anything. I know exactly what type of mortgage you have by just describing what you're telling me. Like people, for example, people in debt. Like if somebody says, I got an FHA mortgage, you pretty much already told me your net worth. As soon as you told me what type of mortgage you have, you told me your net worth. And you're probably thinking, how do you know that? Because nobody that managed money well, they wouldn't ever get an FHA mortgage, ever. All you got to do is ask the bank, hey, bank, is the FHA mortgage the best mortgage on the market? They're going to tell you no. And then you say, which one's the best one? Because why would you accept anything less than the best mortgage on the market? That doesn't make sense. Only people that don't understand money do things like that. Because if the bank approached me with an FHA mortgage, I would say, if I didn't know about money, but I'm just telling you those that you don't know, you say, hey, bank, is that the best mortgage? They're going to say no. They're going to say this one is. And then you're going to look at it and say, what's the requirements? Then they're going to give you the requirements. Say, if you want this type of mortgage, you need to meet these requirements. You take those requirements, you look them over. If you don't meet those requirements, you leave. And you don't come back until you do meet the requirements. That, and besides cash, that is the only time you'll be ready for a house, when you can afford to get the absolute best mortgage on the market and nothing less. Okay? Dave Sincere says, man, I live in Atlanta. People here want to know where you work and what you do before anything else, even your name. I know they do. You know what's crazy, Dave? You know why they do that? Because they believe that means something. When I was in the debt matrix, I believed all that. I thought if you went to a certain college, if you were a doctor, if you lived in a neighborhood, if you made this amount of money, I thought that meant something. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And I can prove it. Everything I'm saying, I can prove, right? Let's put it this way. Accountants go to college to balance books. They go to college trained in mathematics to make the numbers work on the spreadsheets and do all this other stuff. If that's the case, There should be not one accountant that's in debt. Not one. There shouldn't be one accountant with 20-year-old student loans in the world. But we all know that's not true. Why is it not true? That doesn't make any sense to me. I would never in a million years trust an accountant with student loans that are older than their children. Why would I ever? That makes absolutely no mathematical sense. So the title accountant doesn't mean anything. What I teach is well past that. Always remember, everything I say, I can 100% prove to be true with mathematics. Mathematics is an exact science. That means it's never wrong. Ever wrong. Ever. See what I'm saying? Herbert Walker says, Maryland, you know I ain't from there. Maryland is one of the worst states to retire due to the high cost of living and taxes, but my retired friends who live here won't leave, just wasting money. When it comes to, you know what, Herbert, it's really when you say things like this, when you say things are expensive, right? You always hear people say that. Ooh, that's expensive. You got to remember, each time you say that, you can only be talking about yourself, right? That's why I had to learn once I got out of debt, I stopped saying that. Ooh, that's expensive. Oh man, what's the price of that? Ooh, that's expensive. Because you only can be talking about yourself. Expensive to who? You or Jeff Bezos? You or Bill Gates? What is it expensive to Bill Gates? Then that means it's only expensive to you. See what I'm saying? So when you figure out, like, this is what I suggest. Figure out where you really want to live, man. Just forget the price, forget the taxes, forget all that. Just say, you know what? I want to spend my final days in this city, in this state, or whatever that is, or overlooking it, because everybody talks about where they would love to retire. You know, you always hear a lot of people talk about that, but they never put things into motion to make that happen. They just say it and cross their fingers on their 401k or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any difference to me, but take that part out of it. Figure out where you're happy, because where I live right now, I'm absolutely happy where I live. Absolutely. I'm totally happy where I live. I can live out the rest of my days right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Easy. If that's for me to do, yeah. But I'm saying if it was the universe said, hey, Linnell, this is where your last day is going to be, I'd be like, cool. I'm cool right here. Yeah, let me throw that up there. Let me throw my banner up there. I always forget doing that. Appreciate your ill wills. Dave Sincere said, I had some work done on my apartment on Wednesday. Today, the leasing manager stopped by to check and see if I was pleased with the work. We talked about COVID-19, and he told me other residents think they're pulling a fast one over on the complex by claiming they're affected and they are short on their rents. Okay, on the rents. He said they're willing to work with the residents, but residents have to pay the amounts in full they were short on within the next 3 months. Oh yeah, people, you know, it's so crazy. This is what, and I'm telling you, if you don't know your tax bracket, you're not going to know what I'm telling you. But people in debt don't realize what they're doing now. Large businesses were already prepared for, because it's what people in debt do, right? Now, if the government says, hey, you don't have to pay your rent for 3 months, that's exactly what the people are going to do. They're going to do that. But that doesn't mean that you still don't have to pay back the complex, right? It just says, hey, they can't do anything to you during these 3, 4, 5 months. They can't kick you out. They can't charge you fees or whatever. But when that is lifted, they're going to want their money. It's nothing's free. But anyway, they're already prepared for when, because that's what the masses do. They do that. Even if they have the money, if somebody says they don't have to pay, they just won't pay. And they think they're doing it for free or getting away with something. Nothing is free. Not only are those people going to pay rent, they're going to be paying more rent than they did before. And they don't even know it. When they could have just, now, don't get me wrong, there's some people that legitimately could not pay the rent. I'm talking about the people that actually had the money and didn't do it. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Kenji. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's my new look. I'm 50 now, so I'm embracing my new 50-year-old look. Yeah. Embracing that new 50-year-old look. That's cool. Herbert Walker says, I always wanted to leave Maryland. Myrtle Beach is very nice and a lot cheaper than Maryland. Yeah, I mean, where I'm at, I had to have warm weather. I knew I was leaving Seattle. I was tired of it. I was tired of the rain. I was tired of the clouds. I remember I was watching this video on YouTube. Somebody in Seattle was recording something, and it was just the gray skies. And, when I was looking at it and I saw the gray skies, I saw the ground wet, and it's almost like I knew the exact temperature, just the way that picture looked. I knew the temperature of what it was right there. You just look at the ground, the sky, the people's jackets, and it's like, oh, okay, it's probably about 60, 50, something like that. And that's on an average. But that was like on a daily basis of just that gray sky just got to me, man. I had to leave. I had to get out of there. Any questions on the title? If you don't know your tax bracket, maybe you don't know what that is. Let me think about myself back then. Okay, did I know my tax bracket? Nope. Did it bother me not to know my tax bracket? Obviously not. What else? Damn, I shaved and cut myself too. Crap. What else did I not know? I never asked my friends because I didn't know. So why would I ask my friends that question? What else didn't I know? I definitely didn't know how to calculate it. At first, when I finally took a look at it, I used to think, I looked at my tax bracket and I thought my whole amount was taxed at 24% or whatever I was in that time, right? That was wrong. When I figured out how to actually calculate my taxes based on the charges, a single file or just the basic right there, right? I thought to myself, there's a much easier way to calculate these numbers. It's like these numbers that they have in there to calculate your taxes. It's just the weirdest thing, right? It's like there's a much easier way to do this, but I think they make it that way on purpose. I'm not saying it's complex, but when you figure it, like when I finally figured out how to actually do it by hand, because it's very important, right? I just did it. As I'm doing it, you're just like, that's dumb. Why you guys got that? Okay, why you make this 25 cents, but then I got to round it up to make it this number? It's just the dumbest thing. But the only thing I can calculate from it is that they make it confusing like that on purpose, because that would scare away a lot of people from actually trying to figure out their own tax bracket and stuff, Herbert Walker says, Maryland charges $2,300 per month for a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's cold. LJ, I love the beach. I love the beach. I don't like, and you got to remember, Herbert, they charge. This is how I look at everything. Okay, they charge those prices in Maryland because that's what people are willing to accept to pay in Maryland, right? If the majority of people said, "Hey, I'm not paying that much to live here," the people there that are renting would have to come down on their prices. They would have to. But if I wanted to, check this out, if you're financially free, if I wanted to move to Maryland right now, I wouldn't care what are they right now, $2,300 per month. I don't care what they're charging. That has nothing to do with me. You know why? Because millions of people, this is why. I can go to Maryland right now and name my price, right? Where I want to live. I don't care where, it doesn't matter. And I name my price. How do I know that? Millions of people are out of work. Millions of jobs not even available for them to work, to pay their rent. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. They can't pay their car notes. So landlords are not getting, it hasn't even started right now, but landlords are not getting all their rent right now. And there's a lot of landlords already in debt. They're getting wiped off the board. Don't worry about them. But right now, there's a lot of, if I came to Maryland right now to a very nervous landlord and say, hey man, I'll sign a year lease right now and I'll pay 10 months up front if you give me 2. There's not many landlords that'll turn me down on that. I promise you. I promise you that. Jaws 2003 says, what do you mean you don't understand yours totally? What does that mean? Dave Sincere says the complex manager and I talked about an hour about everything. He told me his younger brother friends were working at restaurants bussing tables and they love that they don't have a job now, right? It's like you want to see people like, if this is you, let me tell you something. If this is you loving making more money than you make from actually working, you need to figure out how to keep it this way. Right now is the time to figure out how to keep this momentum going. You see how it feels? All this money coming in and you're not really working, right? Now you need to invent something that keep this momentum going, because that's going to stop. If this new stimulus package doesn't come, July 31st, all that extra unemployment money stops. Then what? What are you going to do? That same job is not even available. They're only 50% capacity, making 20% less. There are people that had to work through everything closing the same amount of hours for 20% less. So when you come back, you're going to be making less than you made before at 50% less hours. With no unemployment, that stops. They make more money with the unemployment and the extra money the government's supplementing. They don't want to go back to work. The company said they want them to come back. They have to go back. Because all the company has to do is say, hey, I told this person to come back to work. And they said no. And then once the government finds out that the person turned down the job, they're going to immediately cut off their unemployment. They have to. You have to stop unless you figured it out. Unless you figured out something right now, you're going to have to stop and go back to your old life, your old normal. If you're one of those people say, hey man, I can't wait till things go back to normal. No, that normal's gone. That's gone forever. That normal's gone. This is the new normal. This is the new normal. The young ones say they don't feel comfortable. Whatever. They don't have a choice. People talk like that are enjoying that money. They don't even have a choice. All the job has to say, hey, come back. Oh, you choose not to? Okay, well. Oh, well. NC Big says, does my tax bracket matter if I am in debt? Most definitely. It will matter put it this way, it will matter your whole entire life. Now, I'm going to say this to you, NC Biggs. I'm going to say this to you so you can understand, all right? Listen. Tax evasion, you can go to prison. Okay? That sounds like taxes. That must be pretty important. You didn't, I mean, you ain't killed nobody. You didn't stab anybody. You didn't murder anybody. You lied on some numbers about some green pieces of paper. You lied on some numbers over some green pieces of paper, and you can go to prison and give up something that's the most valuable thing on earth, is the time in your life. That's the most valuable thing. That trumps money. But you're going to, by violating this law, this rule, they're going to take something away from you that you can never get back because of this. So that seems pretty important. So whether you're in debt or you wealthy, your tax bracket is very important. Remember that. Always remember that. Great question. Because I thought like you, NC Biggs. I thought, man, why do I need to know my tax bracket if I'm in debt? That's the wrong attitude. Black Knight says the rents in the DMV are high because most people work for the federal government. Oh, gotcha. And receive housing allowance. Gotcha. All right. That changes the game because the government's always going to have money. So that's totally different. I got it. See what I'm saying? It's like, if I don't know that part, now that Black Knight told me that part, now it makes sense. Okay. That makes total sense. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay. Josh 2003 says, LJ, I'm talking about the tax brackets. Not sure why it's always been confusing to me. You know why? You got to take a minute to understand it. And again, in my new group, that's going to be my first video. I decided I'm going to make that my first video. I'm going to go into detail how to do this. Now, and I'm not a tax person. I'm just doing what's obvious. Okay. Don't make it look like that I need to be a tax person to show you this. Okay. It's just a basic math. Hey, add this number with that number. This equals that number. This equals that. I'm just doing mathematics. Okay. And we're just going to go by the chart that the IRS provides. Okay. And it's not as confusing, especially when you don't make a lot of money. It's not confusing because the only piece you need to know is your bracket. You don't need to really need anything, especially when you're in debt. All right. Just know your tax bracket. Don't worry about what's above you. Don't worry about what's below you. Just worry about yours. Congress took a day off today and they will have Monday off due to the holidays. This is the day they're going to mountains and cabins to get away. Meanwhile, most Americans are stuck trying to figure it out. You know, let me tell you guys something, okay? Now, this is just my opinion, all right? And this is my mathematical opinion because everything is done because of money, all right? I just watch the crowd. I just watch the majority. What would the majority do? That's the only thing I say when it comes to money. What would the majority do? They're going to do what they're told by following the money. This is crystal clear. This is crystal clear. Now everybody's sitting back waiting for these guys to come into this big house somewhere to vote on something to help you. How come you just don't help yourself? You wouldn't care how many days they took off. They could take the whole month off. You would not even care. And they say, oh man, these guys get this much. This is what blows me away. When I'm on Facebook, right? And they start talking about the salaries of these people. And I don't even follow politics at all, right? The salaries of these people, what they get when they retire, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so why are you saying that? I don't get it. You want that too? Go be one of them. If you want the privilege that they get, go be one of them. You want to, you see all the privileges that the wealthy get? Yeah. Be wealthy. And you could do the same thing as they. They're not hoarding anything. Herbert says, LJ, I'm trying to reduce my taxes legally. Exactly, man. That's phantom income, Herbert. as long, again, I look at the majority. I look at, when it comes to money, I just always look at the majority. If I pay less taxes than the majority, that's more money in my pocket, period. If I was to say like this, say like Maryland was a state I wanted to move to, okay? Even with Black Knight saying that, okay? Now, I'm just saying my opinion. Have I ever done what I'm saying? No. Okay, I'm just telling you something, right? If I decided I was going to move to Maryland, I would hire somebody to see what tax breaks is the state offering by living here, right? What are they doing that they need some investment money, and if I invest in that thing, whatever that is, they will give me a tax break. That's the only thing. So I'll hire somebody and say, hey, man, look through the whole state, look through my city and my county, see what they're all offering for tax breaks. All right. And then get back to me. And then they'll give me this information. I'll say, okay, cool. If I invest in that, I get $10,000 off my taxes there. I do this, I'll get $5,000 off my property tax if I do this. Okay, cool. I'll do, because that's guaranteed income every single year. They say if you invest in this for 10 years, you get this every single year. You get this off your taxes. That's guaranteed money. But you cannot do that when you're in debt. That's mathematically impossible to invest in negative dollars. Invest with negative dollars. That's mathematically impossible. Got it? So the tax thing, if you're in debt, you'll never understand what I'm saying. You can't. It's impossible. Dave says Congress going on a 2-week vacation in July. Hey, congratulations to them. They're working hard. Shit, I wouldn't care if they go on a month vacation. Go ahead. Take your time. Dave Sincere says you go to jail for tax evasion but not filing your taxes late. People got to understand the purpose of taxes. I do. Once I got out of debt, I can clearly see the purpose of taxes. I'm like, oh, that's why you can go to prison. Got it. Oh man, okay. That's why you go to prison, because if you didn't go to prison, the majority of people wouldn't even participate if they didn't have to. If people were, think about it, if people were not forced to participate in the tax system, they wouldn't participate. Oh, if they got a fine, say like for tax evasion, you did some tax evasion over $1 million worth of tax evasion, and you got $1,000 fine. People would be doing it all day long. They'd be like, whatever, okay, yeah, here's $1,000. But when you threaten prison, that's different. That's different. Nobody stops to say, why is that? Once I got out of debt, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Got it. Got it. That's how you should think about your tax bracket, because it's equivalent. It's the same thing. If you don't know your tax bracket, you don't know something that is you're missing a very important piece of the puzzle. I promise you, very important. How do I know this? You can go to prison for tax evasion. Tax, the word. Wait, tax bracket. Yeah, that's important. Dave Sincere says, are you married yet? No word to. Oh, somebody's. Oh, wait. Oh, that thing went all the way down there. Okay, sorry. 1 second. Did I skip that one? Oh, okay. All right. Dave Sincere says oops, dang it. Sorry, you guys. 1 second here. Oh. This thing goes every 30 minutes. It's the camera or something. That's the only thing I don't like about that. Anyway, for years, tax professionals been trying to tell me what to do. She's been my tax pro for 8 years. It finally kicked in 4 years ago. Each year, she would ask me 3 questions. Dave, are you married? Dave, do you have any kids? Dave, have you started your business yet? Okay. I'm nowhere close to doing the first two, but 4 years ago I did. Number 3. Okay. And it changed everything. I can imagine. For sure. I can imagine. The whole game changed. Shout out to Herbert Walker for the $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. I much appreciate that. Donation for the LJ Church of Finance. That's the second time I've heard that. It's funny. Thanks, Herbert. Just add that donation to the write-off on your taxes, right? So go ahead and do that. Don't forget that. Add that donation. I really do appreciate that, Herbert. No, I'm trying to catch up with these things. Okay. Will says free consultation. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Come get your consultation. Be looking for my group this weekend to be starting. I'm going to put together my first live, or I don't know how it works yet. I don't know if I have to upload a video or what first, but I prefer doing lives. Will says, LJ, you crazy, man. You truly look like a distinguished professor now. It looks good, bruh. With age comes wisdom. I love it. You know what? This is what I said, Will, to myself. I had to accept the new, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's like a rebirth of me. Like once I got out of debt, getting out of debt just changed my life, right? And so once you get older, first of all, I'm glad, I'm happy as hell that I got out of debt by age 50. I mean, I've been out of debt for the last 5-6 years, right? But I'm glad I'm out of debt by this age, because this age here is the absolute minimum to wake up. I mean, right here, if you don't at least wake up at this age, time is going to be against you, especially if you're not in good health. You haven't been taking care of yourself, because you need this body to complete these things. Like once you get out of debt, it's like, let me give you an example. Once I got out of debt, it was like, damn, that was there the whole time. Yeah, Linnell, that was there the whole time. That was keeping you in debt. You kept financing that, and then you financed the phone, and then you thought you was a homeowner for 30 years. You didn't even know what type of mortgage you had. You didn't know your tax bracket. Every time you finance something, you financing taxes too. You thought you was looking cool by keeping up with the latest and greatest phones and cars and stuff, but you was doing absolutely nothing. I'm happy I'm here. Because if I still had that mindset at age 50, oh my God. I couldn't even, put it this way, I couldn't even imagine having a student loan at age 50. Woo. I know you guys don't know what that means, okay? If you've had student loans all your life and you thought they were just part of your life, I couldn't even imagine if I had student loans at age 50. Oh, that's the best way I can tell you. That's the best way I can tell you. I'm trying to express it through feelings. Dave Sincere says, people can go to jail for tax evasion, but not for owing the government. If you file properly, you can owe the government and they would work with you. People try to outsmart the government. This is, if you're a person that breaks the tax rules and laws and stuff, right? I want you to listen closely. You're not doing anything new. There's millions of people doing the exact same thing you're doing. Millions. The IRS gets practice every single day. Now you imagine this. Imagine if you got to do something every single day the same way, because you got to remember, people in debt, you guys have a pattern. You guys don't know you have a pattern, but this is your pattern. I'm gonna just sum it up. You don't believe in mathematics, okay? I'm just gonna sum it up. If you're in debt, you don't believe in mathematics, and you have a pattern, right? So when you start doing tax evasion and stuff like that, the pattern's obvious. You think the shell companies got to do something? I'm a hell. You start to believe the movies, right? You start to think, hey man, if I bury this in the shell company, do an overseas account and put this there. No, you're in debt. You guys do all the same things. It doesn't matter the scale of the tax evasion. That's just more. It just takes longer because there's a longer paper trail, but it's all the same thing. It's never different. Okay, so they get practice. Millions of people doing the exact same thing you're doing. All you got to do is follow the rules. If you follow the rules, you'll never have to worry about that kind of stuff. They always think that, hey man, especially the young people, you youngsters, man, you're coming, you're new to earth, and you just think you're gonna come here. Put it this way. This is the easy. Let me put it this way so you youngsters can understand this. You youngsters are brand new to earth. A tax system that has been here for generations. Okay. You're brand new to earth. You're in debt. Your parents are in debt and your grandparents are in debt. But since you're new to earth, you think you're going to fool this tax system that has been in place for generations. You're not. You are totally unequipped. You know why? Because you don't believe in mathematics. That's your pattern. Your pattern is you don't believe in math. That's it. Shout out to Ill Wills. Absolutely. Herbert. Oh, he's talking to Herbert. Okay. I look like a middle linebacker. Black Knight says the word tax table donation means nothing to a person that takes the standard deduction each year. See, now I want you to understand something. I'm not a tax professional. All right. So I'm looking, and so this is how I look at Black Knight's thing. Now I have, so you guys understand something. I don't know what he's really saying there, but the way he's saying it, it's important. This is the difference when you understand, when you get out of debt, right? You get out of debt and you speak about money. There's two languages when it comes to money: debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you only speak debt. You get out of debt, you can hear other people talk non-debt. So when I hear a person like Black Knight say, hey man, the word tax table donation means nothing to a person that takes the standard deduction, that's something important, pretty important. I need to understand what he means by that, because it means something by the way he's saying it. But at the same time, if you're in debt, you're not really writing off taxes. I know you think you are. I think if you probably think, if you're, say like this, say like you have student loans, a mortgage, car payments, credit cards, and whatever, gym memberships, whatever, right? You're in debt. So whatever amount of money you believe that you're writing off on your mortgage, the interest, you're writing off the interest on your student loans, you're not. People in debt, put it this way, people in student loan debt are happy to write off the interest of their student loan. And now I'm going to put it in real outside the debt matrix terms. You're happy to write off interest of something that you don't need to have in the first place. You don't even have to have student loans, but you're happy to write off the interest of a loan that you don't even have to have. And you're not even paying on the loan. You're writing off with the money that was made from having it. You see the way I said that? I kept my student loan for 10 years. You think I would have saw that in a million years? No, sir. So if you think you're investing while you have student loans, you're not. That's mathematically impossible. And the reason why you believe you are, because you don't trust mathematics. Thank you, Wills. Dave Sincere says, the government never arrested anyone for filing taxes on time. Never. People think IRS audits are random. No, they're not. You think the IRS, they already know if they're coming knocking on your door because they know something that if you know or not is 100% irrelevant, they know. So if they know you're following the rules, why would they waste their time to send an agent to your house to say, hey, they're going to give you a gold star or something? What are they coming to give you? They already know your records are fine because that's why they're there. I mean, that's why they're not coming. They don't find people following the rules. Follow the rules. And fire anybody that sounds like they're even playing with your taxes. If you got a tax person right now and they say, hey man, if you claim this and that and do this and that, and you say to yourself, does that kid or that thing that they want me to claim, does it exist? No, then don't do it. It doesn't exist. That means it's a lie. If it doesn't exist, that's a lie. And who do you think they're coming after? They're not coming after your tax preparer. They're coming after you. And you're probably thinking, man, if I don't know about taxes, how am I going to hire the right tax person? I got that answer for you too. Ask to see their personal credit report. Their personal credit report will tell you if they know about taxes. And you're probably thinking, well, how's that, Linnell? Because their credit report is going to look like your credit report. And if their credit report looks like your credit report, you guys both don't know taxes. So you damn sure better not hire him or her. Uh-oh. Oh, she creeped in here. Miss Licia Walls, let me clear my throat. Hey, cutie, nice haircut. Thank you, darling. Appreciate it. Thank you. I knew she had to jump in here somehow. Okay, hopefully, what's the name's gone. Yeah, Mike should be gone. Pedro says, just realized this at 26. And see, Pedro, let me tell you something, man. See how you said your age? I realized this at 26. You're not old, okay? Trust me, life doesn't start till 30. And if you're getting this information at 26, you're gonna financially, by the time you're 30, you're gonna financially pass all your friends. Okay. They're not, and they won't even know how you're doing it, even if you told them. Hey, Pedro, how come you got so much money? I'm not in debt. Just say it just like that. Hey, Pedro, how come every time we go somewhere, you always have money? You just say, I'm not in debt. They'll look at you confused, bewildered. They'll be like, what do you mean? Everybody has debt. And then you say, not me. Then they're going to say, no, that's not true. Everybody does. And then you just be quiet and you say, okay. Herbert Walker says, LJ, I didn't pay attention to my finances until I was ready to retire. I probably wasted at least $300,000 in my life. You know what, Herbert Walker, I absolutely refuse to add that amount of money up in my head, let alone write it down. No, sir. Throughout my career, I've made 6 digits for a long time throughout my career, a long time, right? I was in debt the whole time. So don't be impressed. And for those of you that thinks, okay, I know I'm a little bit off, but for those of you that think 6 figures is a lot of money, I want you to tell you something. It's not. Okay. It just seems that way when you're in debt. You get out of debt, you're like, oh, crap. If you minus taxes and everything else in life, it's really not that much money. No, it's not. Okay. All right. But I'm going to tell you, hey, Herbert, I'm going to tell you a lot of more personal side stuff in the private, in the join group. That's just not for free, man. People got to pay to hear that kind of stuff. NC Big says, LJ, craziest thing happened to me going to have to contact you this weekend. Oh, you're going to have to contact me. Okay, that's cool. You know, I love to hear the stories, man. Thank you. Thank you, Il Wills. Dave Sincere says, LJ, there's a guy named Matthew Cox. He was a real estate con man who defrauded the banks of up to 40 million. This guy's interview is hilarious. Check it out. His interview when you can. Okay, I will. Let me write that down so I won't forget. Matthew Cox. And honestly, Dave, when I hear shows that say they defrauded the banks, I really don't believe it. Sometimes I think the banks let people do certain things because if they let you do certain, I just don't see. Put it this way. A scammer, scams don't make mathematical sense. And if they don't make mathematical sense, they don't make financial sense either. Now, when they say the bank gets scammed, now the bank can't keep up with everybody, okay? The bank, it works in levels. And if the majority of I know it don't make sense, but if the majority of people who work for you are in debt, it's less likely they're going to catch the scam fast enough because they're in debt. I know that doesn't seem like it goes together, but it does, right? So, but if the scam get large enough, it'll get their attention. So if this guy right here scammed $40 million, you got to remember, $40 million is not a lot of money to the bank. That's a lot of money to people like us. All right. They have trillions. The banks have trillions of dollars. 40 million to the bank is like $40. You see what I'm saying? So when we hear, oh my God, he scammed $40 million. Well, because that's a lot of money to us. Right. If you had $1 trillion and somebody stole 40 million, yeah, you'll be like, okay, let me hire a lawyer, go after that guy. Let me know what happens. You know, you'd be like, okay, yeah, find out what he did, whatever. Right. But if you had 100 million and somebody stole 40 of it, that'd be a big problem. Right. So, but I still am going to check that out, though. Dave Sincere says he talked about defrauding banks and the federal government, identity theft, and tax evasion. And see, what's crazy? You don't even need to break the rules. You don't have to break the rules. You just follow the rules. The majority are not following them. Since the majority are not following them, that's what's going to make you rich, because the majority of the people don't follow the rules. You know how much money? Just forget about just regular taxes, right? Imagine how much money is generated in fees and penalties and all these payments because of people. They don't really calculate in all that money. They don't. It's crazy. Pedro says you can make huge amounts of money, but your mindset determines how much you keep. Exactly. It don't even matter how much. I made over $160,000 a year. Dave Sincere says there's a reason why Donald Trump doesn't want to show his tax paperwork. I think people say that, but no, I don't think like that. I don't think he's hiding something from me. I don't think he's hiding. It's just, it's personal. You're never going to see it. I mean, who cares what's on it? So, I mean, I don't know why people are concerned with his tax paperwork. I just don't get that. What's up, Shell Grand? Welcome. Dave says there's a reason why Warren Buffett told his secretary he can guarantee she paid more in taxes percentage-wise. Yes. And the majority of people are shocked. If Warren Buffett ended up paying less tax than somebody else, they'd be like, oh my God, he's so rich. How'd he do that? Well, if you just stop and think, wait a minute, okay. It's not because he's rich, because tax is the law. Everybody has to pay tax. Okay. He made how much? Okay. Let me look up his tax bracket. Whoa, he's high. Wow. Okay. According to the tax bracket, he should be paying that, but he said he paid this legally. So what did he do? That's all it is. What did he do? He probably just said, hey, that kind of money, you could probably go across the United States and take tax breaks from every state. I don't know if there's a limit. Can you go to it? I don't know if you can go to another state, right? And say, hey, I'll invest in that something, whatever. Can you give me some kind of tax break of over here or something? Who knows? I don't know. Ill Will says, you ever heard the story about Red Fox? He always wanted to get paid in cash, so the NBC executives paid him in cash for a great deal of his career. IRS came calling. You have no idea why he would. I mean, if you understand if you pay attention to the rules, put it this way: if you stay out of debt and you got paid cash, you will always have money to pay your taxes. I promise you will. Stay out of debt. You will always have money to pay your taxes. You won't be worried about the tax bill. You will pretty much already know what the tax bill is going to be. Okay. It's not like it's a guess, because whatever the IRS calculates, it's on a table. They're saying, hey, IRS says, hey, if you go look at this chart, this is how we're going to calculate your taxes according to this chart, right? So if you get paid cash, you just say, okay, they said this. If I make this, they're going to do this, this, and then you say, okay, here's the check. That's it. Nothing's a surprise. Okay, I promise you, it's not. Shell Grant says, what do you exactly mean by you don't believe in math? I mean, if you keep a student loan for 10 years, you don't believe in math. Because if you go to college for 4 years and keep your student loans for 10 years, you don't believe in math. If you walk on a car lot and you believe, and the sticker price is $10,000, and you finance it for 84 months, and then you drive off the car lot believing you got the car for $10,000, you don't believe in math. What else? I guess those are a couple examples, maybe. Oh, no, I don't want to say that one. That's what I mean, Shell. Abo says, what do you think about the stimulus package that we got? Do we have to pay it back? You'll pay it back in taxes. Like, put it this way, because I just read the majority. The majority are happy because the reason why they're happy, because they tell you, I make more money now than actually working. So they're really happy about this money. They've never experienced this kind of money. That's why they're happy. So I guarantee the majority of those people are checking the box, I'll pay the taxes later. And why do I believe that? Because they have no jobs. Okay. So since they have no jobs, they're not going to be able to pay those taxes later. I don't care if they spread them across 3 years. It doesn't matter. They're not going to have it. And guess what? They're going to get on a payment plan. That's what we're going to do. And then they're going to get quadruple back the amount of money that they gave out in extra this and that and blah, goody, blah, right? They're going to get quadruple that back in taxes spread across 10 years. That's way more money. They think the long game. People in debt only think the short game. What can I get now for free? That's what the majority do. Dave Sincere says, same thing happened to Fat Joe, the rapper. His tax person accountant did some shady stuff. His tax person didn't do the time in federal prison, but Fat Joe did. And see what I'm saying? This is why I can't wait to get a hold of a celebrity, especially a young celebrity. Right? Because they don't know what I could do for them, right? They don't know, they don't realize they don't really have to know about money. All they need to know is basic mathematics. So if they blow up to become a big star and they need a tax person and nobody around them understand money, I can teach them and say, hey man, check this out. You see how your credit report looks? Yeah. You see all those zeros? See how you got credit cards and good credit and all those zeros? Yeah. Your tax person's credit report better look just like yours. If your tax person's credit report doesn't look like yours, you don't use them. And write in the stipulations of the contract with your tax preparer, hey, I have the right to look at your credit report every 3 months. As long as I use you, I have the right to, you have to show me your credit report, some kind of thing. You work out something that you get to see their personal credit report every 3 months. That's how you will always know if you have the right tax person, because I can tell you this, a tax preparer that is deep in debt is going to prepare your taxes way different than a tax preparer that's not in debt. I can promise you that. If that tax preparer has been in debt all their life, they're missing a major piece of the tax puzzle. Major. And they don't even know it because they're in debt. Abe says, hey, LJ, it's been a while. Thank you for everything. What do you mean life starts at 30? So what I mean by that is when you're in your 20s, between 20 and 30, you're still trying to figure out who you are and stuff like that. I'm just saying by the time you're 30, You should have an idea of what direction you want to go. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Will says lawyers are trying to break into those arguments Prince had laid out. I already starting to hear his music in commercials. Oh, so I'm not sure about that statement. Okay. Once that happens, they are getting in. Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. His music can start being on commercials. Uh-oh. Oops. Back. Okay. All right. Ill Will says today's show's title, Know Your Tax Bracket. Josh 2003. Yes. What is your tax bracket? Josh 2003. I know what pissed me off about living debt-free lifestyle is that when all my relatives became old and retired, they started to speak like you, LJ. Their logic was that you can be in debt young. Yeah. Because you are in your working years. Oh, I see what you're saying. You can be in debt while you're young. Oh, yes. Years and can't afford to. I see my working years to live a debt-free life and prepare for retirement. It seemed like YOLO mentality to me in regards to living in debt my younger years. Yeah, you can retire anytime you want. Retirement's not an age. They just make you believe that when you're young. Raman Abdur, I hope I'm saying that right. Abdur. Females love that I'm built like a middle linebacker. Pedro says, if Donald Trump showed his tax papers, the entire country would speak about him for 2 weeks straight. Yeah, I don't feel like I wouldn't even care. I don't really hear about any politics until I get on social media. Dave Sincere says, people don't read or educate themselves, fail to realize that people who create these tax laws created for the masses. They always create some kind of loophole. And it's not even, and I've learned this, Dave, since being out of debt, that helps keep their kind out. The word loophole is another word that makes it seem as if they know something that the average person doesn't. Okay. Oh, that's a loophole, because you got to say, whenever somebody says that to you, you go, this is what I want you to say to that person. Was that loophole legal? This is what you say to them. Hey, man, they found a loophole to get around this and that. Then you go like this. Whatever that loophole is that legal? Is that a legal law or some kind of statute? Is that something legal? Yeah, then it's not a loophole. That word loophole, I mean, when you're in debt, you hear the word loophole, you think that means something. It means nothing. It means nothing. Dave Sincere says, I think back to economics class in college, the first lesson, there's no such thing as a free lunch. I remember hearing that. And the masses of people don't realize that the money ain't free. Nothing's free. It's taxes. When you see, when you see the stuff happen right now, oh, we're going to pay that back. Yeah, you are. You're going to pay it back in taxes. I mean, I know that. But when you get out of debt, you'll understand that the majority will pay that back, not people that understand money. We don't pay that back. The majority pays that back. I know you'll see it on paper. You'll see that I'm paying my taxes on paper, right? Because if people that understood money did it blatantly, the masses would be able to see it and they'd be like, oh man, that's how you're doing it, right? But so in order for the system to keep working, you can't do it like that. That's the best way I can explain it. Joseph said, I just got my stimulus check. Yesterday, straight deposit into my savings. Wow, they took that long? That's crazy. Thank you, sir. Any questions on, oh, here we go. We got to turn this thing back off and on. 1 second here. Oops. Oh, shoot. Okay. Davidson says, in my 20s and 30s, I was a party and drinking machine. I did my, ain't nothing wrong with having fun, man. But I would have still did my same fun, Dave. Had I been debt free, I still would have had the same fun. I probably would have had even more fun if I was debt free. Black Knight says, LJ, I beg to differ because 6 figures is a lot of money when properly managed. No, okay, Black Knight, I know what you're saying. Okay. I'm not talking about in the minority aspect. Okay. I'm not saying it that way. Yes. When you're debt free, $100,000 is a lot of money. Okay. I'm saying it when I was in debt. Okay. I'm only talking to the majority, right? Because right now that I'm out of debt, $30,000 is a lot of money. But according to the majority, if you Google $30,000 a year in Google, it would say you're in poverty or poverty level or something like that, something stupid like that, right? But when you get out of debt, you're thinking, oh crap, that's plenty of money. It's plenty of money, right? So $100,000 of debt-free money is a lot of money. When I say it's not a lot of money, it's not a lot of money when you're in debt. It's not a lot of money to the bank because they have trillions of dollars. So $100,000 is not a lot of money to the bank. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, especially when you're in debt. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ill Wills, thank you, sir. Love the SMD family. Cosmic Wisdom says, yo, SMD fam. Funny you got taxes on the subject of the show today. I was talking to a CPA last night about taxes. I just, you know what? I'm trying to make it simple as possible, and I want to ease people into this. If I want you to start and understand. If you don't know your tax bracket, that's very important. I want you to start there. It only takes 5 minutes. Go look up the amount of money you made last year. Go look up the 2019-20 tax bracket. See where your number's at, and then you can walk around knowing your tax bracket. Okay, that's all I want you to. That's step one. Okay, just know that. I was talking to Ill Wills. Interesting. I think we're going to have to say bye-bye. Yeah, because you're just saying crazy things. Yeah, go ahead and just remove him, please. Cosmic says, we're going to pay for the stimulus via increased taxes and hyperinflation. See, I was just saying that. See, things like this, when people that understand money, right, you know what's really going to happen, and it's going to be in taxes. I mean, you just know it, right? But when you're out of debt, that's something that is expected. So you already know, like when you understand money, you already know that's coming. But the majority are going to pay those taxes, not the minority. Okay. Pedro says 6 figures is a lot of money only for the people who don't spend most of it. It's a lot of money. When you're debt free, when you're financially free, you won't even come close to spending that kind of money. You just won't. Like, this is what I think sometimes. Sometimes I think back, now that I'm financially free, I think back about when I was making 6 figures, how much money I could have saved, et cetera, et cetera. But what I also think about is the hours that I spent in a cubicle earning those 6 figures. Okay. I would like to make that kind of money, but now I remember what I was doing to make it. And I spent a lot of time in a cubicle. Okay. And answering emails and phone calls and stuff like that. So it's a give and take. Davidson says, due to the tax law implemented under Trump administration, the average tax paying citizen can only have 8 exemptions, deductions. If you own a business, it's $475. You know what? It's like, whatever they allow, that's what I'm going to push. I would push, even like people might not think this way, but I always look whatever I can do legally. So say like, before you got penalties and fees, say like you held back taxes and you can only say like the limit was $1,000, right? Before you accrue penalties and fees. And I'm not a tax person. I'm just saying an example, right? I would probably even say, okay, I'm gonna hold back all the way up to 900. As long as it's legal and no penalties and fees, that's what I'm doing. Whatever it takes to save money on taxes. NC Big says, I just subbed to your new program. Oh, okay, did they already put? Oh, they must already put it up there. Okay, I subbed. I'm assuming the sub mean that you subscribe. Scott. Sorry, man. I'm on two different things. I apologize, NC Biggs. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Black Knight says, Warren Buffett pays less because interest and dividends are taxed at a lower rates than income. See? Better believe it. Aisha says, I put the troll on timeout already. Next time I'll remove him. Yeah, he starts saying some crazy things, just random stuff. It was just, okay. Davidson says people should develop a relationship with their tax person. You don't want to see your tax person only on April 15th every year. That's when the world wants to see them. We should have quarterly. You know, if I could go, if I end up going back to work, right? What I would do, honestly, on my W-4, I would get a hold of a tax person, find out what are my maximum allowances. What are my maximum? How many can I go up to, right? Can I check that box to say, I don't want to pay any federal tax, you know? So check that box, say, max out my allowable IRS exemptions, max it all the way out. I don't want to pay federal tax, uncheck that. And then I'm saying to my tax person, can I just write a check to them at the end of the year? Can I just keep all that money? And can I legally just write a check to them at the end of the year? Or can I do it quarterly as a regular employee? I don't know. These are just the questions I would ask a professional, a debt-free professional. I know it doesn't make sense every time I say that, but it makes a major difference, I promise you. You find a tax person who's debt-free, it'll change the game for you. They'll change your whole game. Meetings, call with them so they can advise you on life events. Yeah, I would. I mean, personally, I would, as long as I have, it's nice to have a relationship with them, but as long as we have an agreement that we can see each other's credit reports. If you want to see mine, great, but I have to see yours. Cosmic says, years ago, I ran into this guy, and his goal was to pay the IRS $1 million because he wanted to grow his business that big. Oh, oh, wow. That does sound crazy when you read it. That sounds crazy. So anybody got any questions about tax brackets? You got any questions? I mean, don't even have to be complex questions, okay? I want you to understand this channel is not complex. I'm not going to take it complex. I just want to make sure you understand that the foundation to wealth begins with you, and that begins with believing in math, trusting mathematics, not believing in it, because math is an exact science. I want to help you create your financial foundation. It's just basic mathematics. How can you do that? First, you must trust math, okay? You must trust math. If you want to build wealth fast, you must trust math, okay? That's a math, and always look at it like this. Math and money are one, okay? Math and money are one. Oh, crap. Okay. Oh, you did that one. Okay, NC Biggs. Gotcha. Okay, sir. I thought you were talking about the YouTube one. Okay, I thank you for signing up for the service. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that, NC Biggs. Thank you, sir. Gotcha. Shout out to NC Biggs signing up for my program at SavingsMinusDebt.com. It's a one size fit all. One size fit all. Okay. I'm at your disposal, NC Biggs. Okay. So yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. High Fee says, if it is, he's really that simple. How come more people don't get rich? Because the majority of people don't trust mathematics. That's a great question. Honestly, High Fees, that's a great question. The reason why the majority are not rich because the majority don't believe in mathematics. That's it. The only difference between the rich and the rich believe in mathematics, the poor do not. Great question, High Fees. Great question. Dave Sincere says, I used to watch a show called Nip Tuck. Oh, yeah, I remember that show. It's crazy that you mentioned writing out a check to the federal government at the end of the year. That's what one of the doctors on the show did. Only thing there, the business was shut down due to a month of December for some reason. And the doctor panicked because he didn't pay all his taxes. See, and when you're out of debt, you don't panic for taxes and stuff. Like, you just don't do stuff like that because you're ready for it, right? But as I'm out of debt right now, if I could go back, if I was back work, this is what I would do, okay? I would be debt-free. I would max out every single 401. I would max out my 401k, my HSA every single year. I would max them out. I would ask my tax person, what are the maximum allowances I can put on my W-4 without getting into trouble, without breaking any laws? Can I check that box? Don't take out any federal taxes. And can I just write a check for both at the end of the year? That's exactly what I would do. That alone, believe it or not, that will prepare you for when you're ready for business. Like being an employee, if you want to practice business finances right now as an employee, number one, get out of debt. When you get out of debt, you say, I want to max out my 401k, HSA, maximum out my allowances, the federal tax thing, because I don't know about that. But I always wondered, why is that box there, right? You look on a W-4, you say, why is that box there to check to say, don't take out no federal taxes? I used to think that to myself all the time. Why is that box there? Everybody got to pay taxes, but they just said all they got to do is check that and they'll stop taking them out. Yeah, why is that there? Figure why that's there. Any other questions? Any other questions? I appreciate you guys all. Just for those of you that are new to my channel, I used to always shave my head bald, and I've been growing my hair out, and this is my first time in years that I got a haircut. So I'm embracing my new look. My girlfriend has been on me about it. And 1 second here. All right. Appreciate it, Ill Wills. Pedro says, so basically anybody who's building a business while in debt is using debt to create the business. Yes. Now I want you to understand something too, Pedro. Don't mix business debt with personal debt. Don't do that. Don't ever mix the two. Don't think, hey, if they got business debt, they must be doing it wrong. No, everything starts here. I promise you. If you first create the business of yourself, meaning if the business of you is not in debt, your business is running. But if you add up your savings and debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. And if that's in a deep negative, the business of you is out of business. So you're not ready to start a business. If you start here, you'll know exactly what to do there, and you'll know exactly what to do. So say like you start here, you get out of business, you get out of debt personally, right? And then you go to open a business. Say like you need a loan for the business. This is what you're going to do. Which one is the best loan out in the whole United States of America? The best loan to start this business. Which loan is that? Which type of loan is that? Right? Dang, this thing is popping like crazy. Which loan? Sorry, you guys. Which loan is that? I only will accept the best business loan in the United States of America. Which one is that? And then you find it. And then if you qualify for it, that's when you're ready for a business loan. It's really that simple. You don't accept anything less, ever. Anything less than the best mortgage, this is what you should put in your mind. Anything less than the best business loan in the whole United States of America, consider it subprime. Okay? That's it. ASMR says the majority think the goal of becoming wealthy is impossible to them. It's all about your mindset, your ability to be disciplined, and your ability to seek information you don't know. Yeah. It's very difficult to search for something that you don't even know exists. Nicer says, I knew people I used to work with through temp agencies that check their exempt box all the time. Oh yeah, a lot of people check that box and don't even know, and they're in debt checking that box. Those people are in very big trouble. Because you know what they do? They let people in debt get used to not paying federal taxes. Yeah, what's on my lip? Let people in debt, excuse me. My mouth is getting dry. They let people in that check that box get away with it for about 3 or 4 years, then they come knocking on the door. Shout out to Joseph for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Keep up the great work, saving one debt matrix person at a time. I appreciate that, man. That's my goal, man. That's my passion. And that is what the universe has put me here to do. That's exactly what I'm here for. Appreciate it. Let me make sure I'm not passing anybody. Oh, I'm way out. Okay, just a second here. Oh, yeah, I'm way up there. Dave Sincere says, and man, I've been growing mine out as well. I don't like that mine is shining in the back. Hey, man, embrace you, Dave. Embrace you, man. Embrace yourself. Embrace who you are, man. I'm telling you. Sharif says, L, I'm starting to see a lot of the financial gurus, YouTube channels talk about savings. Now the pandemic has hit. I think they are stealing your style. Put it this way, Sharif. As long as they're a financial channel that believes in, they believe in mathematics, they're not really stealing. You can't steal math. Nobody can steal math, right? So it doesn't. If they're doing what I'm doing and achieving the same goal, great, do it, man. Nobody can steal math, so it's plenty of room over here. Nobody can steal my style because they're not me. Nobody can steal me. High Fee says, so getting out of debt is like there's no going back. It's like picking a booger you can't put it this way. When you get out of debt, feeling the pain of paying off your debt, paying back every single dollar that you've already spent. Once you feel that pain, you're never going to put it back. You're never going to, that pain prevents you from ever accidentally financing a car again, forever financing a phone, a cell phone. And let me tell you this, honestly, people always ask me, Linnell, when you going to get a house? To the very thought of signing a 30-year mortgage that sends chills up my spine. A 15-year, even a 10-year. Hey man, I promise I'll be connected to this thing for the next 10 years. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. Rental wise, yeah, I'm just saying as a personal residence, a money generating thing, yeah. But I don't know. Black Knight says $1 million a year isn't enough money when improperly managed. Yeah, but you think about it this, Black Knight, you debt free. I could retire off $1 million. I would never, if I had $1 million a year, I would never work again, ever, ever. Put it this way, not even $1 million a year. If I had $1 million today, just one shot, I would never work again in my life, ever. That's without any investments. Without any investments, none. No investments. No investments at all. Well, I put it back. I put it back this way. Not the traditional investments that many people do. Whatever city I lived in, I would hire somebody to look and see what my city or state, what tax breaks are they giving for me living here in the state I live in, the city I live in. That's the only thing I want to know. I'm investing in that. Shout out to Pedro for the $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Oh, for the haircut fund. Appreciate it. I mean, 25. Hey, man, I didn't realize. I know I'm an old cat, man, but I didn't realize haircuts so expensive, man. God damn. I was like, $25. Damn. You just here's 25. I was like, okay. I know you're getting that money because of the pandemic. I know it. Everybody's gonna pay right now. Haircut stylists, people, they could pretty much charge what they want to charge right now. They pretty much can't charge because people just need them, right? So I get it. So shout out to Pedro. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. For the fro, Pedro said, I know, I saw that. You're going to be rocking a fro. No, I ain't doing no fro. No fro. This is going to be my look right now. I'm gonna just keep getting edged up, down there, shaved. I probably put some waves in here. I've always been able to get waves in the top of my head, so I probably start playing with that. Cosby says, I say try to buy your primary house like a rental and understand if you cash flow later, that way you can get someone else to pay the mortgage if you don't want to. And you know what, Cosmic? And I see what you're saying. That's honestly, okay, put it this way, Cosmic. That was my plan. My plan was to rent from myself. Okay. I was gonna, if I end up buying a house, I'll put that house under an LLC. I will rent from my own self so I can get the tax benefits to pay it off quickly. That's about the only way I would do it. Okay. That's the only way. A traditional walk into a bank, hey, I want a mortgage. No, I would never do that. No, I would say, get the company, put it under the company name. I'll rent from myself and pay it off, Yo, Will says, facts, LJ, that's making minimum wage and not sleeping on the weekends because of projects. That's 6 figures. And you know what's so crazy? People that work regular jobs can become a millionaire. Okay. I'm not saying a multimillionaire. I'm saying a millionaire. You having a regular job, you can become a millionaire. You can. It's so easy. For number one, believe in mathematics. All you got to do is not believe, trust in mathematics. I'm going to stop saying believe because math is not a belief. It's a scientific fact. Trust mathematics. Trust that math is an exact science. That means math is never wrong. And since math and money are one, you never believe one over the other. And you never, if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. CENTS. Okay. I'm just being a little stinker. I know you are nicer. People are always on me about getting a house. My mentor last night bragged that their nephew was thinking of buying a new house here in Atlanta. He lives south of Atlanta, 40 minutes. And see, people that do that, you got to remember, people that do that, that's what they're trained to do. Hey, you should buy a house. Stop throwing away money on rent and this and that and blah, blah, blah. They just repeat. People that are in debt, they don't know, they repeat themselves over and over and over again. Why? Why should I buy a house? Because you bought a house? Should I get a house because you have a mortgage too? It's like you gotta just ignore that stuff. And anybody, check this out, especially if they're buying a house right now at full price. Excuse me, let me make sure. So I know Cosmic's listening. If anybody's buying a house at full price, Cosmic, at full price right now, they are in trouble. They're making the wrong move. I imagine this. Imagine somebody buying a house at full price with an FHA mortgage. Somebody right now is financing a house with a subprime mortgage in a pandemic. During a pandemic. Ooh, that sends chills through my spine, man. From his job, he was close to losing the house 3 years ago when there was a big budget deficit for Atlanta School District. Why would I want to put myself through? They don't know. Cosmic says, LJ, grow it out and rock the cornrows. No, I ain't going no cornrows. No. If I start doing my videos in cornrows, you know how many people would believe me? Zero. They wouldn't believe a word I'm saying. A 50-year-old in gray and black cornrows. No, sir. They wouldn't believe none of that. Herbert Walker says, I paid $35 for a haircut, shave and tip and good price. And that's a good price. Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm going to learn how to I'm going to teach my woman how to cut my hair. Cosmic says, LOL, it's all good. I'm just trying to cop houses now at the right price. Is still waiting to see if my low ball offer is accepted. Dave says, you are absolutely right. People who make $40,000 a year can become a millionaire. When I graduated from college, I interviewed with many financial advisors. In one interview, the manager told me how he was amazed by this old couple came to him and wanted advice about investing. He thought they only had 15 to 20,000. They had managed to save $1 million. He was completely shocked. Yeah, that doesn't shock me. That's pretty simple to do. If you just, I know it's hard for young people to accept this concept, but if you just stay out of debt, you can become a millionaire. It's not hard. If you stay out of debt, you basically just do the opposite of the majority. That's it. I always say this over and over. There are trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. That's millions of people that believe they're homeowners. You really become one, you're financially ahead of them all. Trillions of dollars in auto loan debt. Never finance a car. You're ahead of those people. Trillions of dollars in credit card debt. Don't get in credit card debt. You're ahead of those people. Trillions of dollars in student loan debt. Don't get a student loan. Pay your student loan off. Whatever you need to do to get rid of it. As soon as you pay it off, you're financially ahead of all those people from all those different categories. Right there. I just told you how to be a millionaire. That's it. That's totally it. Sharif says, I had a coworker who always tell me to buy a house. Don't save money. Now he's feeling pain because it's pandemic. Yeah, he's about to lose everything. There's about to be a housing market crash. You better not buy a house right now. Herbert Walker says, LJ, go to the barbershop and hang out with the fellas and network. In my opinion, a man should treat himself to a fresh cut. You know what? Herbert, maybe I do got to get used to that. You know, I haven't. This is what I want to mention to you guys. Okay, this was funny to me. Okay, I haven't been to a barbershop in years, but the barbershop's still the same. Okay, all right. I noticed there was two dudes that came into the barbershop with a thick wad of cash in their hands. Two of them did it. One had a really thick fold of cash, right? And he comes in, he pays the barber, he flips off a couple of 20s off this thick ass roll and then hands it to him. You know, he's like, the way he pulls it out, he goes, right? And gives him, and then lets everybody see this fat stack. And then another dude walks in, he has the money all the way out, and it's a thick stack. And you could see on at least the first couple of, there were hundreds, and he had about a thick stack, like about that thick, right? And I thought to myself, when you have money, you don't do stuff like that, especially during a pandemic, right? There's a lot of people out here that have no money. They're broke. They can barely pay their rent and buy some food. And here's a fool walking up with a thick wad in his hand. Are you insane? Sorry, you guys. I keep forgetting that. It's like, are you insane? It's like, I don't care if I had trillions of dollars. I would never walk into a place with a stack of money in my hand during a pandemic. I would never do that. Ever. Even not during a pandemic, I would never do that. Ever. Black Knight said, it is important to know both your marginal and effective tax rate. See? I don't know anything about that, but the way Black Knight's saying it, it sounds very important. And you know what I would do? I would read the things that Black Knight's saying. I would go to a tax professional and say, hey, I need your services. They're going to say, you do? I'm going to say, for what? Taxes. I need to see your credit report first. Then they're going to show it to me if their credit report looks like mine. And then I would say, hey, a friend of mine said, I need to know this, that, and this, that. Tell me why. Cosmic says, don't buy a house if you don't have the down payment. Emergency funds saved in advance. People will go broke buying stuff to fill the house with no safety net. Take your time no matter what. I hope you guys are hearing these wise words. If you're thinking about buying a house, I hope you're understanding what she just laid out. Those are just the basics. That's the basics. If you're borrowing, check this out. If you're borrowing money for a down payment, you're not doing anything that Cosmic just listed out. You don't have the money. If you're borrowing your down payment, you're not ready for a house. That's plain and simple. You're not ready for a house if you're borrowing money during a pandemic. Dave Sincere says, those people want to show off that they have money, and I'm sure if they were to do a deep dive into their finances, they're not managing it well. I know tons of people like that in New York. Yeah, I guarantee you, those people right there, I could prove to them that money in their hand, that they believe it's in their hand, I could prove it to them that it's not even there. I mean, I'm not going to get up and say, hey, man, why you got that whole stack of money? Because to me, when I see somebody doing it, I know why you're doing that. You want to let everybody know you want everybody around you to believe that you have a lot of money. Why? Because you have a stack of money in your hand. When you have money, number one, you don't do that. Number two, definitely not in a pandemic. Number three, there's absolutely no reason to be doing stuff like that. There's no reason to do that. That's inviting. You're inviting. If you're trying to show off to people that you got money, you don't know how many people you're inviting into your life by doing that, good and bad. Trust me. As things get worse, I'm telling you, man, when this money runs out, you better not be driving around in a Porsche and dripping with gold and stuff like that. You better not. You better not. Herbert Walker says, LJ, lots of people need your guidance where you live. They need my guidance all over the United States of America, man. This math breaks all borders. There is no limit to math. Man, Herbert, if I can get a hold of some youngsters, man, I'm telling you, man. If I can get a hold of some young up and coming stars and whatever, sports, singing, whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever, right? If I can catch them at that age, and man, all I need is one. All I need is one. Dave Bourne says, true cosmic wisdom. I have a coworker who went in on a house and put herself in an extra 10,000 plus furnishing, an extra 10,000 plus furnishing it and upkeep. She's crying the blues. I bet you she is. Oof. Cosmic Wisdom says, shoot, I want people to think I'm broke. LOL. I just need to keep driving that car. Cosmic. Keep driving your car. Yellow J says, LJ, hey, SMD gang. My son graduated today in a virtual pandemic celebration from George Mason University. Congratulations. Student loan free and summa cum laude. Wow. Proud dad today, man. That's like triple proud, especially coming out with no student loan debt. Oh, that's like your kid they're starting off. I mean, just with the knowledge that you're going to share, that you've already shared with your child, obviously, because they're debt free, come out here with no student loans. Congratulations, man. They're financially ahead of everybody. I hope what did you say, your son? I hope your son understands the financial position where he's at right now. He's ahead of millions of people, millions. Congratulations. Congratulations, man. Wow, that is congratulations. Man, can you imagine if your son keeps his head on straight, man? He's going to save himself. He's going to save himself from bad business deals. He's going to save himself from 90% of the bad business deals, 90% of bad relationships, save himself from divorce, 90% divorce. I mean, his divorce rate is going to be really low. Everything, man, everything. Congratulations. Yes, let me put those congrats up there, man. That deserves all posted on the board. Congratulations for sure. Man, let your son see this video. I want him to see my face because I want to congratulate and say, you are so lucky. I know you don't know it. I know you don't know it yet. You'll never have to experience what me and your dad went through financially. That will never be your experience, so don't worry about it. Okay? Just believe us. Dave Sincere says, I hate that he's coming out into this damn economy and the shape. You know what, Dave? You got to remember, Dave, you got to remember, it's only bad for those who are in debt. Okay? I'm going to say that to you. He's actually in the perfect position because this economy is only bad for those who are in debt. Right now, you want to start at zero. Right now is the time. Right now, if you ever want to become a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, whatever you choose, it doesn't matter. Right now is the time. All you got to do is get to zero right now. SavingsMinusDebt.com. Let me put my thing up there because I never get this scrolling. Let me put that there. SavingsMinusDebt.com. I have one single plan that will fit all. Okay, one single plan that will fit all. Get to zero right now. You got about 6 months. Start off long as you can get to 2021. In 2021, you get to zero by 2021, or just get to zero in 2021 or by 2021. You'll be okay. Man, of course. Dave says, I mean, career-wise, depending on gotcha, Dave. I see what you're saying. Yeah, what did he? Hey, Yellow J, what is your son's degree in or focus or whatever? What field is he in or going to be in? Yellow J says, we filed his taxes this year and he got $1,000 education credit and he got his stimulus. Ooh, damn. Wow. Especially at that age, that's a lot of money. And he ain't got no bills. That's all his money. BS and criminology. Okay, that's good. That's a good field. There's always going to be crime. Dave, he got the best field because crime is going to go through the roof. Especially if that new stimulus money doesn't come out, crime's going to go through the roof. Okay, criminology is the field. Let me tell you the booming businesses that are going to be booming. Crime, tow truck driver, repo man. You want to be a repo man. You want to start getting into understanding house foreclosures. If you work in the banks, you want to start mastering house foreclosures and stuff like that, because there's going to be millions of them. Car repossessions. What else is going to happen? I don't know. I'm gonna see by what happens by the summertime. I mean, my prediction, my opinion, this second stimulus thing has to come. It has to come. Nicer says, my faith in the youth just got bigger. Me too. I know. That's awesome. And he lives at home debt free. I'm getting jealous, Yellow J. Jay Holly. I'm getting jealous, man. Can you imagine being debt free and you're living with a parent that understands that taught you, and you're debt free because of your parent, and your parent knows you're living there at his house because you're debt free? I mean, that's got to be an awesome relationship. Awesome. Yellow J says, and we are in DC area, so he can work for any three-letter agency if he wants. What does that mean? What is three-letter agency? I don't know what that means. Damn, freaking gnats. That's the only thing. When you eat a certain way, I eat like a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff. That's the problem living down here, man. You can't leave that stuff out. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. DEA. Yeah, nice. I want to work for the IRS. That's the three-letter one I want to work for, is the IRS. I think I would be a valuable asset to the IRS. Valuable. I would. So if there's any IRS agents out there right now, listen, I understand people in debt have a pattern. I understand. Okay. All you got to do is just fill in the blanks. What's the process of what I need to do whatever you need me to do. But I understand they have a pattern, and it doesn't matter which level they're at. I can see it. Okay. So if you're looking for somebody, I'm your man. Hey, anybody represent the central bank? I want to work for you too. Anybody in the central bank? Not working, printing money and all that stuff. The other levels, those rooms that many people don't go to, whether important people go to in the central bank, I want to go in those rooms. I don't care if you actually print money in the central banks. I don't care. I know it's not even real, so it doesn't even matter. I don't care about the printing machines. I don't want to see them. Doesn't matter. I'm from the DMV. I know the government alphabet soup. See, every time I say DMV, I always think the DMV at, the driving place. Every time I see the DMV, I know that means something in Maryland area, right? DMV. All right, you guys. I know the topic of the show was way off, but hey, it's very hard just to stay on one topic, especially when you're talking about money and debt. So tomorrow I'm gonna come on. I always come on the weekends. You guys, if you want to email me, let me know if you have anything that you want to talk about tomorrow, because I'm almost out of things. I gotta get started on this private group. Let me know if you guys want to do a show, join the show, etc., etc. Let me know. There is my email. SavingsMinusDebt is my Cash App. Thank you. I have a PayPal donation. I don't know. Not many people use that. Not many people have PayPal, but okay. There's my Facebook. If you want to share my channel, really all you got to do is tell them to Google the hashtag SavingsMinusDebt, or they can look me up, search me on YouTube at SavingsMinusDebt. Okay. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. All right. Follow me on Instagram. Appreciate you. Thank you. Join the Discord server. Not only can you click on the link to join the Discord server here, the Discord server is in every single detail of the details of every video I make. And there's the SMD families in there. They can answer a variety of questions. And I pop in there every now and then, but when I give this much time on videos, the same day, I really can't do that again because, I got a girlfriend and she, wait, she's in here now, but when wait till she leaves, just a second.
Hi. Yes, you do have a girlfriend. This looks kind of yellow on screen from that oil.
Oh, it does?
Just in the back, not at the front.
Oh.
But you look good. You look so good.
I didn't even look at that.
Did you tell everybody this was my idea? You growing your hair out?
I did tell them that.
Okay, great. As long as you give me credit.
Okay, see you later. Bye. All right. Yeah, it does look kind of yellow. Maybe the ISO. Maybe. Did I fix the ISO? I'll check that later. All right. Now she got me looking at it like it's yellow. Does it look yellow in the camera? She wants all the credit. I know, right? She wants all the credit. I'm gonna get in trouble when the camera go off. That's funny. Yeah, it looks a little blonde. I think I can't tell if it's the camera. It might be the camera. I'm not sure. I know it's this. You know what? Let me do something. Let me do something real quick. I'm curious to see if it's the actual camera. I'm gonna do something while I got you guys on right now. Let me do this. Okay. It's probably the contrast or something of the camera. Okay. Yeah, it definitely looks white now. Okay. Whatever. The Cisco look. Yeah, I think I had to set I got to set the contrast or something for the camera. I should have did that, but whatever. All right, you guys. Yeah, it's definitely, you can see it that it's white right now. You can see it's white. Platinum silver now. That's crazy. You guys just now telling me. You should have said, hey, man, your hair looks blonde. Yeah, see, because that's the color you guys see my hair right now. That's my color of my hair right now. Damn near silver. Oh, well. Live and learn. When you guys start doing your own stuff and you start doing some, look like for Morgan Freeman now. Let me see something. Let me check something. One sec. Oh, no, I don't want that. Now I can do a comparison. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. The whole thing, it looks yellow. I've been doing a 2-hour show while it's looking yellow. Crap. Let me see something here. What's... All right, let me get that. Let me change that. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. I'll fix that. I got to drop that, don't I? No, I got to raise that. I'm getting off here. I'm not doing all that. All right, you guys. I like that angle. Okay. Which angle? This angle or the first angle, Cosmic? The yellow angle. She said Morgan Freeman. And the other cam, you had a shiny tan. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Wow. Damn, that did look yellow in the other one. Okay, well, I'm going to fix that. I'm not going to fix it now, though. I know that. You're the Cisco of personal finance. Hey, Dave, you're telling your age, though, man. You better not say that. The youngsters are going to be like, Cisco? Who's Cisco? No, go back to what it was before. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. It's kind of yellow, though. I'm about to get off. I'm going to fix it, though. I'll fix it, though. I want the true colors. No, this one now. Oh, this one now. Okay. The non-blonde one. Gotcha. I like that color temp of the new angle. See, it's just, I don't know, man. I want you guys to see the true color of my hair because this is what it really looks like, right? It's been like this since I was young. As you guys can see, it's a little bit black in there still. And yeah, I got to set, it's a DLSR camera, DLSR. Yeah, DLSR camera. Both colors and angle better now. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I appreciate you guys all. Like I said, join us in the Discord server. A lot of people go over there after the show and hang out over there and ask more questions. If you're new to the channel, please don't hesitate to join the Discord server. Be part of the SMD family. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Appreciate it. And if you learned something from it, please don't hesitate to donate. There's my Cash App. All right. You can email me with questions. And like I said, if you're ready to start your journey, right there, scrolling at the bottom, SavingsMinusDebt.com. And start your journey, man. I know these are hard times right now, and I put it I created an affordable package, okay? And it helps you. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I know a lot of this is, before I get off, I want to make sure this is clear. You don't have to prepare yourself to see me, okay? I am working for you, okay? So all I'm going to do is for the free consultation, it's a free 30-minute consultation. Just go over there and schedule it yourself. And please don't forget, once you schedule it, please don't forget to set your time zone, okay? But I will double check with you in email if you do not, right? I'm going to listen to where you're at. As soon as I hear you talk, I will know where you're at and I'll know what to do for you, okay? All right, I promise you that. Okay, off to celebrate. Yeah, please show him this video, man. Tell him I said congratulations for real. Because, you know, he probably, I mean, you're his daddy. You love him. You help, but he doesn't really understand. I doubt if he really understands what you have done for him financially. You know, when he goes through this world, man, he's going to be like a Neo in the debt matrix. Nobody's going to understand why he's going to be so financially successful. Man, it's just congratulations and all because of you, man. Good job. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. See you later. Okay, bye-bye.